All right, everybody, it's episode 432, 431, to say it correctly.
431.
I'm the host of Fans of Patrol. My name is Montego. Welcome, everybody, man. Welcome to the greatest podcast on the planet. You are privileged. There we go.
Oh, my God. I wouldn't say that, but I'm glad you're all here.
Oh, I would say that. And you're listening to the smooth sounds of Ms. Tiffobot. How
Yes.
are you this week, Tiff?
So far, so good. It's been a strange one, I think. How about yourself?
Oh, shoot. It's been a shitty week, but I'm feeling good because I'm here with the people, man. And I got a good movie to talk about. I think we're all on the same page, but we need to talk about Spider-Man.
Across the Spider-Verse.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of funny because they're already talking about the next movie in this thing coming out, and like I'm hearing like a third title, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" So
then like these titles get long, and then your brain is like, "I'm sorry, I have to remember 17 different things." You know, I say Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3.
Humping the Spider-Verse. You know?
Oh my goodness, that's the Pornhub version.
Goddamn.
Don't act like it doesn't already exist. Don't look at that, kids. Don't Google it, kids.
I know. Please, no. God, no.
Yeah, okay. If you're an adult, go ahead. Do whatever you want. I can't stop you.
So we got some shit, man. Honestly, you know, E3 is dead, as any real fan who listens to the show knows. And it was a bitter pill. E3 started out so dope to me in my younger years and stuff.
It did start out
changed so bad.
Do you remember? And it started out like being a little bit more just like industry inside. They didn't really even give a shit, I feel like, about people who were outside of it. We were benefits of an industry inside thing.
Should have kept it that way.
Yeah. And you could only watch it on like G4.
Yeah. Which was
back in the day. Does G4 exist?
At first it was
Spike. You're right.
Then it turned to G4. G4 is a YouTube channel now, and they're struggling. But you know.
Well, I think everybody who has transitioned into a new form of media sometimes does a little bit of struggle because they had all those shows on.
Yeah.
And I would say that G4 had some shows that, while they were quite, in my opinion, annoying, a little bit ahead of their time. They were more like kind of like pre-YouTube.
They were ready for streaming.
YouTube. Yeah. But in the interim between switching over into that kind of area, they've lost that. Whatever that sparkle was. Do you know what I mean?
That's je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, that je ne sais quoi is now je ne sais gone.
So to continue, what I'm talking about, y'all, is that we're seemingly, possibly moving up the ladder to replace E3, maybe the Summer Game Fest, and that's put on by some journalists or something. So we're going to talk about that, right? And that's a bunch of games, you know, previewing the goodies. So it's right up our alley, man, you know, because we love games. Also, man, because we're back into the tight draws with the jock straps and the booty cheeks up, and, you know, it's so hard. we're doing another Who Played It Best, man. And I love this section. And so in this section, we, you know, with these movies, you know, you got Superman. How many people play Superman? So we're doing that, and it won't be with the main actor, to be with the other actors, because we did the main actor before,
right? And so it's Spider-Man related, folks.
Yes. So we're doing that, and that's gonna be a bunch of fun, y'all. It's the funnest time for me on the show. And like I said at the top of the key, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. We're doing that. We went to the show. We're prepared. We're ready. Tiffobot, are you ready to get it on?
Yeah, I had a McDonald's breakfast sandwich while I watched Across the Spider-Verse.
So happy for the free endorsement.
So I am. Oh yeah, McDonald's is really giving two shits about this, but I had a fine time having that breakfast sandwich while I watched the movie. So yeah, I'm ready to go.
Let's get started. All right, man, we are back, and it's time to shout out all that social media are. Tiffobot, could you tell the people that they're on the wrong system right now? They could be watching us on YouTube or doing something else. Could you tell them other places they can get our signal?
Yeah, so for everything Fans of Patrol, hit us up on our social media, which is at Fans of Patrol on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can check out our TikTok, Fans of Patrol 0. Watch us on YouTube if that's your thing, which you might be doing right now. And then listen on your favorite listening platform, which if you are not listening on your favorite listening platform, let us know what that is, and we will try to get on there for you.
Indeed, and I was looking at the mothership for our podcast, and there was some shit on there. And I was like, "What is that? What is that? What is that?"
Yeah, there's a lot of like podcasts, and there's also like a lot of podcast hosting apps that like I think are private, not like to people, but like they host their own stuff. Of course, they wouldn't host something that wasn't produced by that company.
Yeah.
You know
I've seen our shit on places, and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, people are asking for it, but if you don't see it, let us know.
Indeed. So, man, let's get into it. Okay. So, man, why don't you tell us a little bit about this Summer Game Fest stuff?
Okay, so it is run by a video game journalist. His name's Jeff Keighley. And I think it's only been going for a couple of years now, but I think it's designed as a way to obviously replace, as we talked about earlier, the loss of things like E3, where there wasn't. I mean, we still have like PlayStation does their own thing, Xbox does their own thing, but we want to see something that covers all of those things. Especially, I would think that
the irons were hot. God damn it!
Yeah, he did. He's gonna. I think that's a really good. We talk. You know, the thing is that it's an established working idea.
It's a void.
Yeah, and there's a void, so he's also going to get the benefit. He's going to get the benefit of having it proved already have been successful if done correctly.
Yep.
And then also the benefit of being like, oh, we're just new at this. Do you know what I mean? So he gets to cover all of.
Right.
Yeah, so you're like, it's like when you at work and you've been at work for 2 years, but someone is like, blah blah blah, like a customer, and you go, oh, I'm new, even though you're not new. So it's pretty exciting because I think even in the best interest of all of the independent consoles and companies, like whether you're into PlayStation or Xbox or Nintendo, or computer, which is, man, the computer people, God bless them, they get everything.
That's a different animal.
And it's a different kind of gaming, and like it's a lot of stuff that you have to have a nice computer, like a really nice computer, usually. But you would think, in my opinion, as somebody who, like, if I owned a company, Tiffany Games,
all right,
I wouldn't want, like, even if Tiffany Games was akin to like an Xbox, and the idea might be that I'm competing against PlayStation, I would want a show where all of the stuff was shown, including PlayStation, because what I want is somebody who's playing PlayStation to see my Xbox stuff and say, oh, I want to get an Xbox because I want to play that.
That's
whereas now they're all like, well, why would I as PlayStation care about what somebody who owns an Xbox thinks? Well, because you want them to buy a PlayStation, I assume.
Yeah, you know, in the world of clicks, pay for clicks, right? Yeah. The natural aggregate of just, you know, the natural draw that happens, that they hope happens, but doesn't happen so often. It's still real, man. Yeah, I've almost bought a PlayStation like 20 times. You know, like, almost. It had never worked, but it's gotten really close a bunch of times that I was like, you know, if they didn't cost so damn much, if it was back,
that's the thing, they're quite expensive.
When they were like $100 or something, you're like, oh shit.
But even then, the cost was always kind of like comparative to like how much people were making at that time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they've always been kind of expensive, but they're crazy now. But when I worked for gamers, I can't believe this. Always been playing on PlayStation my whole life because my brother was into it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to play a game that was on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But I couldn't afford to buy one.
Yeah.
Because I was like working at a really shitty retail job that just happened to sell games. But we worked so hard. My little store, there was a contest within the company, which was a small shitty company, where like if your store did sold a certain amount within a month, you would win like a certain amount of money in store credit. Yeah. Everyone in your store would get some store credit. Well, it was actually kind of shitty because they were like, it was $5,000, I think. And it was up to the manager how the money got distributed. So they could keep it all for themselves. Assholes. Or spread it out. But my boss was really kind, and I was assistant manager, so he kind of did a tier system where he gave himself the most, which I agree with because he was always there and always doing work. Mm-hmm. But then he gave his assistant managers the next amount, and then everyone else got some. Everybody got some, which was nice. But I got enough to buy a used Xbox 360.
All
Just right. And the only game I think that's maybe ever been, that's not true. I played Left 4 Dead on that, which is great. But I bought that to play Tales of Vesperia, and I played it, and it was fantastic. Basically free.
Never heard of it. So,
well, you know,
speaking of shit that we never heard of, let's talk about some of these titles that they didn't drop off here. And
okay.
If we're interested in any of these things. But before I go down this list, the other day, so if you're not familiar, EA has had these exclusive right to Star Wars for about 15, maybe plus years, right? And, you know, they've been really slow releasing content. So much so that Star Wars fans has been upset for the longest. You know, I mean, literally hasn't, you know, they literally just wasted that exclusivity by just dropping a game here, and not just like going balls out on something that just got a guaranteed buy for it. So it's open now, and they still can make games, but everybody can make games. So Ubisoft wasn't playing. They've been working on their shit. They saw that.
So they were like, eyes on the prize.
Exactly. So they debuted a Star Wars video game. I think it's about scoundrels and shit, you know, like people with no powers, just regular lady. And Han Solo-ish. And it's our first open world Star Wars game. And they did a trailer, you know, with the cinematics on like one day. The next day they did an actual playthrough. And it's dope, yo.
I know that really is like into you. I don't know why an open world Star Wars games seems like the most logical thing to me.
Hell yeah. I mean,
because that's like kind of like the ethos of Star Wars would be to not be restricted by like, and you know, like those, like a lot of games, and I'm not sure, I've never played a Star Wars game, so I'm not sure, but like, a lot of games will tunnel you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you have to do X, Y, and Z within this area, and you can't move out of that area, even if you wanted to, but until you complete tasks or certain things. But like open world, like a Skyrim, stuff like that, where you can complete that shit in any
any way you want to.
Way you want to.
Side missions, not direct missions. Yeah, right.
You might not even do the side missions. There's like, and then you get to see this like rich kind of other people's experiences where they're like, hey, I went to this fucking town and I talked to this guy and he told me that if you do X, Y, and Z, you get this golden horse or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And then you get to like do those weird things. And I think that's really great.
Yeah. So it was dope, y'all. So let's look at some of these things. So I'm not a Final Fantasy fan. What about you?
I love Final Fantasy. This is the Final Fantasy VII. I don't know what you would call it, like a remake, reboot situation, because it's the story from Final Fantasy VII is similar but a little bit different.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a huge base. I don't play.
I played original Final Fantasy, and when I've seen this one be played, and I'm not like, I liked it. I think it looked great. Mm-hmm. This is the second installment of that. Mm-hmm. I might play it. It seems like it'd be pretty fun. And as long as you like kind of close off your mind from thinking about, this is the way it used to be. Yeah. Then I think that I'm okay with a game that's introducing new things to an old property, as long as it's done well and with the intent of making it good or better. However, Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy VII, the original, will always hold a special place in my heart, because it's just something that like probably was like the first game that really got me into like that kind of gaming, where you're playing like an 80+ hour game.
Well, yeah, you're a Final Fantasy fan, because you fuckers can go on forever about this game.
I have 175 hours and nothing to do with it. But the trailer looks great. It looks like more of the same from the first game, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm just not into it. So the last time I almost bought a PlayStation was for this Spider-Man game, and now they're coming out with Spider-Man 2.
Now Spider-Man 2. And I don't know who's...
Almost bought it.
Maybe this time. I saw some video.
So I was like, fuck, I'm not doing damn near $2,000 for goddamn games.
Yeah, you got that, I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was on this Summerfest or some other video, but someone said there's 2 Spider-Man on the and it was somebody from the company that was like, there's 2 Spider-Man because it's Spider-Man 2. I nearly died because it's such a very obvious.
That was Smith from accounting. He's back.
He's back. They sent him on the stage. It's a low, it's the early days. They're not going to send out the CEO. And he was like, there's 2 because it's 2. And everyone was like,
Smith from accounting. Yeah. the little smile, like ding when he
Yeah,
smiled.
yeah, he's just like so excited to be there. You
Yeah,
pick up his excitement.
yeah.
Um,
I would really like to play that game. I haven't played the first one. I was jealous. You know, they had all this stuff. But I can't afford two of these damn things. I mean, I
yeah, you
could,
already got
but
one,
it's
but
just
you'd have to really there have to be like maybe 10 games that you wanted to play.
it's just like sitting there with like, oh, never mind. Let me stop whining.
You're getting
So
upset.
yeah,
Do you enjoy Prince of Persia?
I used to love that game. I used to love,
Mm-hmm.
you know, since it was like a almost damn near 2D, and then when it went to like a 3D, the last time it came out, I bought that game. I think it was the Sands of Time. That was the last
Yeah,
one,
that sounds correct. Yeah.
and I love that game with with the f ups, and then all of a sudden you press the button and whoop, 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 and you get another chance to jump again. Whoop, 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 whoop. But it's kind of funny because this game is it's different, but it's kind of keeping that cartoony look about it, which
Sure.
I don't know how I feel about. You know, it's like they were always like cartoony. The Prince of Persia games, they were never like this looks like real. So I
Ultra
can
serious.
understand
Sure.
them doing that, but I don't know if I would want to do that. But I am tempted. You know, I am tempted.
I could.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not saying I
for
will, but I
sure. What about
might.
you? What about you?
I never played a Prince of Persia game. I am really bad at games where you have to move quickly
Yeah,
um, and control two sticks. So
yeah.
shooters or adventure games where you have to be pretty precise with like
That's my bread and butter,
gotta
Tiff.
grab. I know we're very different. That's why I'm like an 80+ hour game slow grinder, and you
Oh, I do
are a
those.
quick
I do those.
adventurer.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you can go backwards. You can definitely be like a high speed
man.
shooter slash adventure gamer
Yeah,
and go back to like a grinder because that I'm not gonna lie, it's a little easier. It's like harder on your
I'm a.
like stamina,
It's true. It's
but
true.
like easier. It's easy.
No, but I be grinding out to Assassin's Creed and like what was that damn game that had Shepard in it? You know, that space game, that Mass
Oh
Effect, all of
yes,
those.
Mass
You
Effect.
know, but here's the thing. I think that the Prince of Persia stuff lost a lot of luster when Assassin's Creed came out because there hasn't been
Yeah,
one of those since. 'Cause it's
comparative.
kind of the same. Assassin's Creed took to another level. Like we are Death Warriors, and you're like, oh, they Death Warriors. This is beautiful.
And like
You know?
even like watching the Prince of Persia, when you like people would get suspicious of you because you've done something like you've pickpocketed
Yeah.
or, and then you'd have to like kind of like put your thing down
Mhm.
and like kind of blend in.
Well,
It had
Assassin's
like
Creed
this
stole the whole
cool.
goddamn thing. They
You
stole
have to
the
like
whole thing.
close yourself.
Yes.
So I mean that's pretty exciting. I don't mind. I've traditionally not minded a change in animation style, but there's been a few franchises where the animation has changed so drastically that I was like, oh, I can't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I see this. We got like a Mortal Kombat re-release, like not re-release, but
Yeah, what is
updated,
this? Is that
updated
what it is?
version.
Yeah,
I
and
believe so.
you know, that I gotta really be a fan of shit like that to buy into that. Like Mass
Yeah.
Effects did it, and I was like, yes, take all my cash, you know. But the last Mortal Kombat I played was 11, and it was effing phenomenal. I had a great time playing it. So if they were like doing that, continuing that, I would be all in.
Sure.
But you know, doing this,
I think
I don't care.
so.
Honestly,
Like they're doing in the way that in the newer Mortal Kombats, they do that slow. Uh, what do you want to say? It's slow mo, and they show you the inside.
yeah,
Like they'll
yeah,
show you like the neck cracking off and the heart
right,
exploding and stuff
right.
like that. So I think obviously in the old Mortal Kombat game it's crazy to think that Mortal Kombat was one of the games that they were like, we have to start making sure that kids aren't playing video games because it's so violent. And
Yeah,
like maybe like the worst thing that happened like there was a lot of blood, but the worst thing that happened in the old ones, they rip your head off and the spine comes out.
yeah.
And in these fucking new ones, there's shit in there that'll scar you for life. Like
Yeah.
watch those final final kills or
Mortal
whatever.
Kombat 1 came out with, pretty much saying a F you to all the white ringers that was like the senators and shit that was like having all those like banned video games. Like it was like right around that time. And then it was like, hey, watch this. Yeah, that was, it was like, whoa,
I'm gonna make him punch him so hard his skull's gonna fly out the back of his head.
It was
And
a
you're
big
like,
F
oh
you.
my god.
Yeah, that whole movement. I don't know if we want to jump around to some of the ones.
We will, because some of these, like Fortnite, I don't care about.
I don't care.
Sonic Superstars, fine.
I will say this about Alan Wake 2. I always want to play Alan Wake. Never got around to it. It's a 360 game, and I could play it now, but every time I'm like, man, I was they're doing a 2. You know, that's the flashlight thingy.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder how it holds up in this.
Go back.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen I've never played Alan Wake, but I've watched some playthroughs, and I think watching it's still very scary.
Yeah, anything in the dark, Tiff, you're like,
yeah, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they're like, you have a flashlight, and you have to fucking find batteries. Good luck, bitch.
Yeah. It's getting weaker. You're like,
it's getting weaker, and you're like, where are my batteries? Oh, Jesus. And you have to there's a creepy cabin up ahead. Go on in there and find some batteries.
That's where I really want to go, because the batteries is.
Yeah, you're like,
throw that flashlight away, let your eyes adjust, and run like hell.
And the worst part about some of those games where you have to there's a lot of games where you have to find batteries to power your light source. And the worst part about some of those games is okay, now there might be a cabin, and you're like, there's gotta be batteries in there. And you go in, no fucking batteries.
Yeah.
And then you're walking along the path, and there's an old
face hugger in there.
Yeah, there's just a monster. And then you're walking along the path, and there's an old a first aid box posted on because you're in the national park, and you're like, there's fucking batteries in here. Why?
Yeah, but they're not all the way. They only got 30%. You know what I'm saying?
Good luck, bitch. You got to cross this bridge now.
So I got a question, Tiff.
Yeah,
I love Star Trek.
Yeah,
why they keep making games?
Well, why can't they make a game where you play an adventure style game as the characters from Star Trek? Why can't they do that? It's always a strategy game. I don't want that.
Right.
I'm not gonna get in my Klingon ship.
No.
And try to take over.
No.
I want to. I want to be Captain Picard. Yeah, I want to be Captain Picard.
Then I'll be back to drive this ship to the next place.
Yes. You save the planet. You meet some aliens. That's our prime directive, meeting new people.
He's never gotten a Tiff. This game.
No, it's just dear people making Star Trek games.
You fucking stop.
Just stop. Please do something better. We want to play a game where
you're better than this.
They don't know. That's why they keep doing it.
Oh, shit.
Now, did you see this trailer for John Carpenter's Toxic Commando?
Yeah, and so they have music that what is it? Shot through the heart, but it's not Bon Jovi. This is somebody else playing it.
It's a different version, yeah.
Yeah, and then once the action started, it just looked like any other zombie game to me.
I think it looks great.
Okay, well, I hope you're right.
But my problem is I won't be playing it.
Yeah, because you don't do
because I love a zombie game. I love Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. The last zombie game I played was it Dead Rising or was it Left 4 Dead? It's the one when you make shit real quick, and yeah, it was scary as hell. It scared the shit out of me.
Left 4 Dead is a 4 people player game. Up to 4 people.
I think it was Dead Rising or something like that.
That makes sense. You were grabbing some old, yeah.
Yeah, and it was scary as shit. And it was back when they had you remember that thing, that sensor they used to have, on top of the TV with the camera and the sensor when you supposed to. It's back when you would.
Oh, was that what was that called?
I can't remember.
Project X?
Right, it was some goofy thing, right? And if you made noise while you was playing a game, it would alert the zombies. So, and I didn't know that shit.
Oh my God. No.
My wife and kids come downstairs like, Daddy. They were little kids. And all of a sudden the zombies be like, oh! And I was like, what the fuck? So it was weird shit. And when I finally realized that, I used to be like, I'd be in my living room like Scooby and Shaggy sneaking through a scene please. If they heard a sound, they would react. And it would come from the direction where the sound came from. So that's
pretty great, actually.
That was some cool shit. It really was.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
My problem is
that camera they had on top of your TV.
Yeah, there was the one that had a kid's name.
Yeah. And I
Sammy.
It was
or something like that.
It started out as the Xbox Natal, and they changed the name.
Yes, and they kept changing it.
Something to where it came out, but it was yeah. So
And none of those were really successful. So
no, but they came with both of the game. I mean, with the systems.
yeah, got it. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. So what else? What else tickles your fancy on this list?
I think that most of the stuff after that, I mean, like if you're into Lord of the Rings, there's going to be a Lord of the Rings game, which I've played some, and they've been pretty fun.
But it didn't look that great. I was like, this looks pretty. It looks cell phone-ish to me, you know. So
yeah, and I saw that they had shown video game adjacent stuff, which is they were showing that Twisted Metal is going to premiere on Peacock.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is? I was like, this is a movie trailer. God damn it!
Well, it's not a movie trailer. It's just a show. It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show. It's a show trailer. So
is that Anthony Mackie?
Yeah, he's the star. And here's the deal. He was like literally attached to that property about 10 years ago. It's like 10
he must
years
like
ago.
it. He must actually really
10
like
years
it.
ago, I heard that he was going to be in Twisted Metal, and people were like, Twisted Metal, yeah, we still like it. But that was like 10 years ago, and that was like Twisted Metal. I'm going to watch the goddamn show. I know I am.
I will probably watch it too because I am curious to know how they are going to make a show that's ostensibly like a car fight game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Into a actual viable television property, especially on like NBC.
Trailer. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah. They're in a casino. They're outside of the cars.
And he's the dude's talking shit like, blah, 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 blah. You're just like,
and then, I will say I was charmed.
Okay.
When they sang the thong song together.
Oh, I didn't even see that part. I think I cut it off.
That's at the end. They sing. He sings a little bit of Cisco's thong song, and then Anthony Mackie does too. He's like, "Dumps like a truck." Like, what? All night long. Baby,
I'll never see you but a girl. I love it.
Do you remember? There's like that question where they're like, if someone put a gun to your head and made you sing every lyric to a song and you couldn't miss one lyric,
I wouldn't do that song.
I might give it. I might be able to do that song.
I'll probably do something like Double Dutch Bus. I remember that shit. But what's funny about the thong song? Way off topic, but F it. Like, we're having fun.
That's okay. People want to know how we feel about Cisco's thong song.
So Cisco made like millions and millions of. It was his biggest hit ever, right? Money was rolling in, but because he had that one part of the song that said, because she was living in the big loca, she had jumps in the trunk. Yes.
He got in trouble?
Yes, because when they wrote the song, the producers was like, whoa. Have you talked to, what was that guy's name?
Ricky Martin.
He's like, yeah, I talked to Ricky Martin's people. Everything is cool. And so they went out with it. Ricky Martin's people found out about it. Guess what happened?
Sued.
Every dime that song made went to Ricky Martin. He didn't make shit off the song. And that song was like multi-platinum stuff. And so he made nothing. And so I saw an interview with him. And he said, I can't do nothing but laugh about it at this point. All he had to do was get permission before he released the song. Yeah.
And it's really, and the thing about it is that like, okay, so we all remember the Under Pressure / the Vanilla Ice Baby
right
catastrophe, where he's like that their song goes bum 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 and mine goes bum 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 bum, which is like the whole thing. It's the whole song. In the thong song, it's a mention.
It was a mention. But he did the same cadence. And
oh fuck, that's a rough spot.
So he made no money off that song at all.
He should have just said. He should have asked
Martin.
I bet he would have gotten permission for it. I mean, they would have had to pay royalties.
If he did it ahead of time, but he lost everything because of that one thing. I was like, wow. So,
well, I think that's a good part to end on because the rest of these games are.
There's like some point, Tifobot. I'm with you.
There's some pretty interesting indie games on here, but the rest of them are probably stuff that you don't really.
We are
or fodder. So.
We are together.
We have made it.
I agree.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back because it is time for my favorite time of the show, right in the middle. And we're going to do our thing.
I like the middle.
That sounds porno for some reason. Anyway.
I'm here to ruin everything that is pure. By just saying it a certain way.
Mission accomplished. So we're going to take a break and we're going to be right back.